Hello guys, today we're doing at all the Smash Bros. Characters. There are weak Smash Bros. Characters and there are strong Smash Bros. Characters. But what if all the characters were put into a battle royale? Who would win and who would lose? There was a similar thing that someone did of all the Pokemon. What Pokemon would have come out on the top? What Pokemon would have come out on the bottom? We'll be ranking on which characters would likely survive in this battle royale and likely defeat all other characters. Of course, the debaters would probably go over the other characters in Smash Bros. That would win. So we'll be going over and of course, powers and psychic powers and all that stuff is put into account. There's actually one character I actually don't know the rank, so hero. Okay, so I gotta see how strong the hero is on the let's just use Dragon Quest X. Yeah, the hero is around this level, so that's what hero is. So, hero is actually pretty powerful. Now I'll be going through all of the F tier characters. First is Game & Watch. Obviously, he's flat, 2D, and he would probably lose against characters with psychic powers pretty easily. The next character would probably lose is Pichu. Pichu is one of the weakest Pokemon overall. So of course, Pichu hurts himself. Next character that will lose easily is Ourmao. Ourmao is very tiny, and he'll be a bug compared to all these other characters in Smash Bros. Next is the Duck Hunt Dog. It's just a dog and a duck. He would probably survive longer than Pichu, but it won't be that long. Isabelle, she has no hero fighting experience, unlike the villager, whereas he has his axe, but Isabelle has no fighting experience whatsoever. Absolutely no feats whatsoever. Same thing with villager. I'm sorry, there are people portraying the villager as this evil character, but the villager probably won't survive. Same thing with Dr. Mario. He's just Dr. Mario. He loses all of his powers and he throws pills at people. Of course, he would probably lose in this battle against all the characters. Next is Ice Climbers. There's two kids with his small hammers. They'll probably lose. So, those are all the weaker. And next is Piranha Plant. He's stationary in a pot. He could probably move with, extending his legs out like he can in the game, but he's really just stationary, so he would lose. Unless he turns into PD Piranha, I don't think Piranha Plant will win at all. So he won't win at all. And now we get into the characters that are E tier. They'll probably survive longer. They'll probably survive like 10 minutes. The first character on this list, the first character, no, that, or yeah, Daisy, is Pete and Daisy. Pete and Daisy would probably survive longer than some people would think. Why? Because at least they sell some of the feats with Mario characters in Mario Party. Of course, selling that feat and the mini game where you go out the black hole. Wouldn't be surprised if they, and considering that Daisy is an echo of Pete's, they would probably survive the similar amount of time. Next is next character on the list is out of Mies. These characters are really just people with just weapons. There's no actual special abilities the Mies really have, and that's why they're so low on the list. And that's all. And oh yes, the Fire Emblem characters. The weakest of the Fire Emblem characters would probably be all the swordsmen. So Quam, Lucina, Roy. Actually, Roy's sword actually has fire properties to it, but Marth and Lucina are probably the weakest of all the characters. They just have normal swords. When the rest of your series, like Ike, has fire swords, electric swords, like if Robin, you're just really the weakest of them all. All the other characters have swords with magical properties, and you're just stuck with just normal swords. You'll probably lose. Next is Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is not really as strong as Donkey Kong or some of the other characters. He would probably lose to characters like Ridley, characters that are pretty stout, more powerful. And that's it for the E tier. Now we get into the characters that will survive a bit of time, but won't be owned pretty easily versus Pac-Man. Pac-Man, he can eat a lot of things, he can have the pellets, but he can be easily beaten. Actually, Pac-Man goes in ETL. That's probably why he is not that good in Smash Ultimate. Next is Pikachu. He's just a mouse, but he has electrical powers, so that means Pikachu will probably survive longer than most people think. Even longer than. And now, we're gonna get to the bulk of these characters. Next is Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff isn't really that strong. Jigglypuff can sing people to sleep, but Jigglypuff is an average Pokemon. He isn't really that great. Or C. Oh yeah, I forgot about Refit Trainer. Refit Trainer is F tier. So he's just a normal trainer who trains people how to get fit. I don't think she'll survive in a battle royale at all. She'll probably lose at all. The next character that would be in D tier is Banjo-Kazooie. Bears are pretty strong, but Banjo-Kazooie hasn't really shown great feats compared to a lot of the other characters on this in Smash Brothers. And now we'll be getting to Widowmack. Widowmack is a very experienced boxer. He would probably find ways to survive against various characters, especially defeat all of the F tier characters pretty easily, but he isn't really, he's just a average person, really. He did fight against Donkey Kong, so that makes him higher than the rest of than the Meaty Brawler, because at least he has that feat. He beat Donkey Kong in a boxing match, depending on how good you are at the game, of course. And then we're getting to the other Fire Emblem characters. We're getting into Roy and Kwam and Ike. These guys are just swordsmen. That's really what they are. They have magical the reason why and Bailiff and all these Fire Emblem characters. The reason why they're this high on the list is because they have the swords have magical properties. That's all. Next on the list, and next is Fox and Falco. They have reflectors, but that doesn't really get far when it comes to using guns. So we get into the mid-tier characters, which is another whole bunch of characters. These characters are would probably survive more than an hour. The first character is Mega Man. Mega Man can copy make abilities of other robot masters, and he also has those dreaded saw blades, so he would probably survive longer. Greninja, he's a ninja, he can sneak around, but once he's found, he would probably be beaten, but he can easily beat very weaker characters. Bowser Jr., oh, Bowser Jr. is in DT, I forgot about him. Bowser Jr. isn't really that strong. He's just a kid in a vehicle doing stuff at people. I think that the stronger characters would beat him pretty easily. The next character is King Dedede. King Dedede got beaten by Kirby multiple times and ran at multiple times. He's the weakest of the three Kelly characters. Next is Samus and Zero Suit Samus. Samus seems very experienced, but I just don't think she'll be surviving past like an hour or so. Next is Korn. The only thing Korn has is he can turn into he and C, because there's more female and male Korn, would survive because he can turn into a dragon. Next is Ryu. He is a big buff dude. He is good at fighting. And the same thing could go for Terry and Ken. But these are just normal people. But they have a step forward with Widowmack against Widowmack because they can beat that oh that's not wrong character. Yeah, it's that Ryu and Ken actually can shoot actually have power. So that makes him high. Next is Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, he did shoot the moon from the ground in Donkey Kong Country and is a feat that should not be ignored. Next is Meta Knight. Meta Knight is pretty strong, but he would probably be beaten. The ball days are over. Next is Captain Falcon. He's also a pretty buff dude. The Falcon Punch is pretty powerful, but he probably would be in the same level as those other characters. And now begin, and of course Robin, he has magic powers and stuff, but he isn't as strong as all the other characters. And that's for all the Fire Emblem characters, they're not that strong. And then it's King K. Rool, is the nemesis of, and Ridley. Rob would probably be here as well. Rob is a robot, and he would have infinite energy. He would probably survive for a while. Next is Dark Samus would probably be here. Incineroar would probably also be here. Inkling can either be another stealth character. Would probably be around D tier, actually not C tier. Would sneak around for a while, but is allergic to water. Yoshi would be around C tier. I don't think Yoshi would probably be beaten by a lot of these stronger characters on here. And then and then of course we have Wolf, who would also be in would also be in the tier list of the Fox and Falco, obviously. So now we get into the characters that would survive longer, the B tier characters. So these characters, no, and Snake would also be in C tier because Snake is in most cases a normal man. The first characters would be Simon and Richter. They did beat Dracula, which is a feat of strength. Then it's Young Link and Two Link. These are kid versions of Link. And even Link is a pretty powerful character. There was a whole GameCube even made a whole video about why Link is one of the most powerful characters in gaming. And if you look at versus Battle Wiki, Link is actually pretty powerful. But these are kid versions of Link, so they were not that strong as normal Link. They are the kid version of Links. Next is Pit. Pit is not really Pit will probably be around the same power. He is an angel as well. Dark Pit is basically Pit but evil. So he'll be in this tier. Lucario, he has all powers and all that stuff. He'll be able to sense really easily. Well, he'll be back. Well, and then of course we have Pokemon Trainer. Why is Pokemon Trainer so high? Well, even if the Pokemon Trainer dies, he does have the three Pokemon are pretty powerful. Charizard's pretty powerful. Squirtle would probably be in D tier. And Ivysaur would probably be in D tier, but Charizard is pretty powerful. He has gone on power of legendary Pokemon in the past, making him this powerful. Next is Ness and Lucas. Ness and Lucas, despite being kids, have very, very powerful psychic powers that most of these lower characters couldn't deal with at all. And, of course, last is Seek. Seek and Zelda. No, actually, Seek would be higher on it. Seek and Zelda would be actually the same character, so it would be high on the list. Never mind. Then we're getting over the characters that are extremely powerful. These characters are the most powerful of the powerful. Eight here we have both Mario and Luigi. Mario and Luigi, of course, pretty powerful. They're probably one of the more powerful characters in all of gaming. Mario and Luigi, of course, are one of the more, they have fought gods before, they have fought beings that can destroy the universe, almost. Next is Joker from Persona. Persona does have, oh, he would probably be in, I don't know that much about his feet, so I'm putting him in B tier. I actually forgot about him. Next is Cloud. Cloud will also be in B tier. It would probably be in B tier as well. So, now we gained over Mewtwo. Mewtwo would be an A tier. He is one of the most powerful Pokemon in all of existence. He was created simply to be the strongest of all Pokemon. And then next would be Wario and Bowser. They would probably be in the same level as Mario has beaten both of these characters quite before multiple times. Next is Zelda and Seek. Zelda and Seek are one for the Triforce and they're pretty powerful characters. Using magical powers, probably even stronger than Ness's powers. Despite Ness being Gygus, they're still probably weaker. And of course, Hero. Hero is actually pretty powerful. He has beaten, characters that are kind of like gods before in his universe. And now we gain to Sonic. Super Sonic only lasts for a few minutes, so it can only use it once, since Final Spaces can only be used once, so Sonic would be on the same level as Mario. And now we get into the truly overpowered characters of all of Smash Bros. The S tier characters. These characters will survive the longest. Kirby. Yes, Kirby is one of the most powerful characters. Kirby cracked a moon with his bare hands. Donkey Kong, of course, punched down the moon, but Donkey Kong, he isn't as powerful. He doesn't have any magical powers. Kirby can copy everybody's powers. Yes, he can. So Kirby is on the list. Rosarena, see reset the entire universe in Mario Galaxy. Bayonetta fought gods before, so she'll be an S tier as well. Link has also fought godlike beings before, such as Ganondorf, who could have destroyed the entire universe. Palutena, she's a literal god herself, so of course he's S tier. And Sulk, he has fought gods before, so he is S tier. So do you agree with this tier list? Do you think that these characters would even stand a chance? Do you think that the higher tiers could be different? Or do you think that some of these characters could be ranked higher? I think Donkey Kong could be ranked higher. So Donkey Kong will be ranked in the OC could be ranked higher because they are both because they have the similar feats to Mario. So and Donkey Kong and Yoshi can't put anyone to eggs. So of course. So what do you think out of weakest characters in Smash Bros? Do you think that Donkey Kong is ranked too low? Do you think that all the Fire Emblem characters have been given a bad chance? Or do you think that this list is completely 100% accurate? That's basically it. Goodbye.